Hello everyone, welcome back. So in today's video presentation we'll study two main concepts. One is components of the GIS and the other one is how integrated are GIS and remote sensing. Now basically when I say GIS, there are three main components. One is the data, one is the user and the one is computer system. In this computer system, there are three main components. One is hardware, software and procedure. Now we'll understand everything in detail. The first one is hardware. Now what is a hardware? It consists of a computer hardware system on which the GIS software runs. So even if you are using your phone, now if I consider as a gadget, then that phone is a hardware system. So inside the phone there are many hardware components. Similarly, in GIS also we need certain hardware components. And this GIS runs on a spectrum of computer system ranging from portable personal computers to multiple user components. The hardware of GIS consists of many input and output devices such as digitalizers, scanners and GPS receivers. Storage components are also present such as magnetic tapes and discs, CD-ROMs and other optical discs. So this is a hardware component which is very much necessary in terms of GIS, for the working of GIS. The next one is software. Now what is software? It is referred to as program running on the computers. So for any computer to run, we need certain softwares inside it. For GIS also, to manipulate or interpret the GIS data, we need GIS softwares. So there are different softwares which help in analyzing, then storing and displaying the geographic information system. So some of the common softwares that are used in for GIS are ArcGIS, MapInfo, Geometrica. So these are the different softwares that come into picture while we talk about GIS. The next one is procedure. Now a computer system of GIS consisting of hardware and software and procedures designate to support the data, capture, store, process, model, analyze and display the geospatial data. So this procedure is wherein with the help of the software and the hardware, whatever we can do, that is to capture, store, process, model, analyze and display the geospatial data, that is called as the procedures. So beside technical components like hardware, software and database, institutional framework and policies are also important for the function of GIS. For the functioning of the GIS, except for hardware, software and the database, institutional framework and policies are also necessary. Then moving to the data are named as geospatial data or non-geospatial data. Non-geospatial data are also called as attribute data, and the GIS facilitates integration of spatial and non-spatial data and make them unique in contrast to other data system. And it is the source of spatial data are digital maps, aerial photographs and satellite images. Attribute data sources are statistic tables and other related documents. Now for you all to understand what spatial data is and non-spatial data or attribute data is, so if I consider an area, the area, that is if there is a building there, then the building area is known, that area is known as the spatial data. If I take a photograph, aerial photograph, then the building what is visible, that is called as the spatial data. And attribute data is one wherein inside the building what are present, like how many doors are there, where is the corridor, how many rooms are present. So these are all the non-spatial data, so that is called as attribute data. So both these data are necessary in terms of GIS. The next one is user. The role of user are to select pertinent pertinent information, to set necessary standards, to design coefficient updating schemes, to analyze GIS output for relevant purpose and plan the implementations. So with the help of GIS, there are n number of works that can be done. It may be with the temperature changes, it may be that is the climatic variation, it may be with the civil engineering purpose, or it may be considering environmental factors. So different works can be done. Now these users uh, select the information from the GIS data such that whichever data is necessary for them to work out with, those data only are selected. So if I am a road designer, I select the geospatial data such that I can construct a road or the alignment can be fixed. So that is how the user works. The user are always the peoples who plan, implement and operate the system, as well as to make the decision based on the output. Depending on what output you all need, and depending on what output you all need, the plan, implementation and operation of that particular system is done with the help by the people. So such that whatever output you all need, dependent on the output needed, you all plan, implement and operate it. So that is about the different components of GIS. Moving to integration of GIS and remote sensing, we have learned what remote sensing is and we know what GIS is. So GIS stands for Geographic Information System, and we have already studied how remote sensing works. Now we move to how these remote sensing is integrated with the GIS. So before moving into detail with integration of GIS and remote sensing, you'll need to understand two things. The first one is raster model and vector model. Now what is raster model and vector model? I have explained it in the previous video. If you all have not understood, here is again the explanation. So raster model is one wherein the photographs are taken in the shape of grid system. All the informations are present in the grid system. But in vector model, say if this is the building area and these are the four corners of the building, so the XY coordinate of this particular building will be known. So integration of GIS and remote sensing, there are basically for any GIS survey which we are doing, there is certain requirements. So same georeference systems, either it may be rectify or register or resampling. So rectify or register, wherein those spatial data are rectified or registered, and resampling depending on what type of survey we are doing. Then problem, either it may be raster or vector data styles. So raster data style is where in terms of grids they are present, and vector data style is present in terms of XY coordinates of that particular point. It is done in three stages: separate but equal, seamless integration, it is in arc view, and total integration. Separate but equal is wherein separately they are done at equal stages. Seamless integration, where seamlessly all the data are integrated, and total integration, one separate but equal and seamless integrations are merged together, that becomes the total integration. So this is how the GIS is integrated with remote sensing. And once there is something called as overlay analysis, wherein topography and vegetation, population density, transport network, geological faults, remote sensing image, so all these datas are overlaid on each other to give the necessary data for that particular kind of survey work. So this is all about how integration is done with remote sensing and GIS. We'll stop here for today. If you all have understood the videos, then comment understood along with your division and your USN, that will be taken as your attendance. Thank you.